should be. Oh, there it is. Oh, it is there. Cool. Go live. And I think I need to do a pop-up here if it'll let me. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll work. Let's do pop out. Boom. There's that one. There's that one. All right. I think I'm streaming on both. Guess we'll find out here soon enough. I tell you, this multi-chat stuff trying to stream on both is a pain. But we're going to do it. Shows I'm streaming there, but I'm not seeing my data here. Seeing transitions, chat. Yeah, I'm not seeing my numbers here, so I don't know if I'm streaming on the Facebook side or on the other side. So I'm going to have to go check a look here. Let's go to, let me go back here. Let's see here. Let me tell you, I can go over here and double check this real quick. Like we got other things we can check. Let's see here. Go to my page, your channel. Yeah, we're up. Outstanding. Dun, bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. I need to check my chats there first. There, let's do that first. Let's see here. Test chat. Boom. Yep. Chat Ninja is up. I think it posted twice because I got two open. So let's close one of these. I don't know, you have both open. Let's close one down. And let's check the Facebook one as well. I'll check the Facebook. Ooh, not that one. Check the Facebook chat here. Check the Facebook chat. Test Facebook. Yes. Let's hear it for the boys. Both chats are up. Outstanding. Not sure what we're doing with severe weather tonight. Dun, 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 dun. Radar. Let's go to single mode here. We got severe weather way out in the west, but we ain't worried about the west. We're walking about this tropical storm here. The only thing that's lacking is I'm not seeing my POC up. So let's see if I can get that to come up here. For some reason, it's not coming up. There's chat Ninja, custom browser docs, not that one. All right, trying to get up my YouTube. Scene switcher chat. Where did my YouTube one go? Huh, that's not good. Well, I don't like that. This one right here. Hey, Russian. Hey, what's up? Ah, there we go. Now I can see it over here. Hello. Bump, 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 bump. Mikey, what's up, brother? Yeah, I wanted to show up my new stuff, man. I'm just going to go ahead and play around here for a couple hours. Yeah, we live on the Chat Ninja. Yep, absolutely. And I made some corrections and stuff, so I wanted to get you guys up. And I want y'all's feedback tonight. If y'all can help me out, give me some feedback on some of the stuff. I got a lot of good things here going, and want to kind of show them off a little bit here. The first thing here was the first thing I had here. I wanted to kind of show you guys is I've just added the Twitter feed here on here as well for updates. So now when we're covering a storm or doing a storm, we can take a look at I can pull up any one of the stuff that's coming up from anything going on with the tropical storm. Like, for example, here, I can pull up this video here, and I can take a look at the video here. Well, that video won't play. That's actually embedded. So, but we can take a look and see things that are going on during the report. We can see the live updates and the streams for that report. So, and I think that's a nice little addition there. The other thing I did add as well for you guys here for coverage stuff is going to be stuff, obviously, at the new and improved weather wall, which I've kind of got going here. Just hold on one second. I got to get that radar back up here because I closed it. My bad. Let's get it back up here. There you go. So it is now up and operational. So I've got a few things I've added here on the live feed. So we can now, I can go to the wall and do all those things. We're watching the storm for tonight. I'm gonna stay on for a couple hours, I think. Just kind of see how this thing develops here for tonight. Answer questions and test some things as we're going along here. Now, hopefully, when we get to a more substantial system, which I still think we're going to see later this year, I'll continue to improve this and make it even better. So that's our image right there. Going with that. Oops, let me get I didn't highlight it real quick. My bad. Let me make sure I'm on it. I got to make sure I'm on that thing to get the next slide to go up. So I do have a remote control here, so I can go up and down. This is a live shot here at Myrtle Beach, for example. So I really like how this works. I can frame this in this monitor and do a lot of interacting with this. I've got the quad chart here. I got 4 different ones. All this one is out for the moment, but I can put in those locations. I have not put in the locations yet. I probably will add these to show. These are all in the Myrtle Beach area, so I'll put the individual web cameras down for each one of these 4 sites. This camera's down here for the moment, but I like the quad chart here as well. Satellite imagery, obviously, you can see what's going on with the system as we're getting closer to landfall here with the system coming in probably in about 4 or 5 hours. I think it's only moving. It's not moving very fast. This thing's only moving to the northeast, I think, at 3 miles per hour as of the 5 o'clock advisory. So that's the 5 o'clock advisory, 32.5 north, 79.1 west. So moving north-northeast at 3. So it's only about 40 miles offshore. And then it's going to crawl for a day. And once it gets on shore, then it's going to take a right turn and accelerate. We've got a pretty good trough that's going to come in here, pick this thing up, and it's going to take it right on out to sea. Out across the northern actually sea into Canada and then out to sea. So very fast mover. So the flooding risk will reduce as it goes up there. We'll still get some heavy rains like in New York and Pennsylvania area, but nothing like they're going to see down here from Virginia down through the Carolinas here over the next day and a half or so. So here's the latest rainfall totals here. Again, mostly 4 to 6 with some localized areas probably getting over 8. Now, you got the mountains in here from the Appalachian Mountains, so you bring that moisture in and you run it up against those mountains. It kind of adds additional lift, acts as a bit of a sponge, so it kind of squeezes the atmosphere a little bit. So you're going to get some localized heavier amounts up here in the Appalachians, obviously mudslides, flash flooding, that kind of thing. Definitely a problem for areas like Roanoke and areas up into parts of West Virginia, maybe even Maryland here, where they do have the flash flood watches up for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through the model run here. Let me back this up. I was playing with this earlier, so I can take you through the model run here again on this system. So go to my little interactive mode here, and we're going to watch this. This is the North American model here. Again, watch as it comes on in here, going throughout the day and going into tomorrow. So going throughout the day on Thursday. Charlotte's going to be really bad for tomorrow. Charlotte, Raleigh, the cities in the Carolinas there, and getting up into the mountains. So as we go into Thursday throughout the whole day, gets on up there, and then as we go in throughout the day on Thursday, it's going to move on out on Friday and quickly accelerate on out. So we're finally going to clear things out there across the southeast, but we've got several hours of this thing bringing us some pretty hefty rains. We've been very lucky that we had some of that, some of the dry air kind of get enveloped into it to kind of help that out just a little bit. So we're not going to get as much action there. So again, we're still going to be watching for the possibility of some isolated tornadoes in here. They did up this to a slight risk. It was marginal earlier, but they did up this to a slight risk here. As the storm makes landfall to the right of that center of circulation up the beach, they can see some isolated tornadoes. So there's been a few tornado warnings earlier, but as this moves on inland, this will spread the severe weather risk up further north as we go into Thursday and into Friday. So for the overnight, that's what they're seeing there. Again, look at all the flood watches going all the way up into Pennsylvania. This is where your tropical storm warnings are at. That light green color, you see that up here. That's your flash flood warnings, and there's numerous ones there, especially across southeast Georgia. They really got plastered with over 15, 20 inches of rain. And as this thing moves on to the north, that's gonna cause some more of this flooding up into those isolated areas, but not nearly as bad as what Georgia, South Carolina, and North Florida saw as that system was making landfall. So anyway, that is what I've got for right now. So again, if you guys got any questions or anything, love to go ahead and to see what you got to say there. I like the new look. I really do. This is going to give me an opportunity to, I can go to the wall, go through that segment of stuff, and then I still have my other stuff, my other ones as well, to be able to do when we're just kind of doing discussions and stuff. Although I didn't update the 5 o'clock position, so I can, for example, can do this. Let me do this real quick because I didn't input it into my update. I will be grateful. One of these days, I'm going to get this thing automated, and I'm looking forward to it one of these days. But in the meantime, I have to put them in manually. So I'm going to go ahead and update this here real quick. We got 60-mile-per-hour winds, and let me get the coordinates here real quick. 32.5 from moving north. I think that 3 miles per hour is just so funny. I mean, it's just we're talking. I walk faster than that, man. I mean, I talk about slow roll of China on that. I mean, geez, that's just crazy slow. 32.5 and 79.1. 79.1, and it's the 5 p.m. update, 5 p.m. And the pressure is down to 995, so it's come down just a little bit. So again, the whole 10 here is I can still come back to my standard look when I'm sitting here at the desk and can go through my stuff. We can still do it here with that, but can always go back over to this view. We're going to talk about the Twitter feed and do the wall stuff. So I'm feeling a whole lot better about the overall look on this. So yeah, just like TV, that's what I'm trying to do. I want something that's a little bit different than the other guys got out there. I want something that at least establishes me as a little bit different look than what the other folks have. So, I mean, I don't know. I know sometimes you want to reinvent the wheel and everything, but now the one thing I have not done to these yet is I don't believe, let me double check. I do not believe that I've got these in here. I don't think I do. And yeah, I don't. So the thing I do not have yet that I'm going to have to bring on over is the when I pull up y'all's individual questions and stuff like this, like they're from my little test earlier. When you guys post and the weather chat stuff, I can't bring it up. Although I was in Streamlabs stuff, but the Chat Ninja stuff's not picking up, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. But I'll have to double check the Chat Ninja. I'm seeing everybody on the Streamlabs chats coming in, so that's a plus there. So it's getting there. It's getting there. It's a work in progress. We're going to be seeing how this thing progresses here for the next few hours and see how we're going to get toward landfall. The one thing I don't have tonight, and I'm not exactly sure why, my thing is not updating here with the YouTube is not showing me my Ingrant in here. So I'm not sure why. I'm afraid to fool with it because I'm afraid I'll mess it up or something. It's usually in my docs. My YouTube's supposed to be in here somewhere, but let's see here. Settings, stream. Yeah, it should be showing up in there, but it's not. So, and that's why I watch the counter. I watch the stuff that's going on in here, so we can do that kind of stuff and stay up on top of the turnover. Obviously, I got my countdown clock, which is really nice to have. I'm glad to have that countdown clock, but and I really think the Twitter, the X feed in here is an important thing. So as we've got when we got a really big event going on, I can sit there and look at the latest feeds on here and see what's going on. So expect to begin. Super rainfall amounts in the Carolinas are currently take steps. Just kind of looking at some of the feeds coming in here, out of here from some of these folks here on the storm. Hurricaneville, I love some of these guys here. It's beginning to influence the weather here in central Jersey with calm onshore flow. Watch afternoon update, tropical storm Debby from the National Hurricane Center, which they've already had at 5 o'clock. They already did that. So, but this is a nice little thing to have. I think it's really cool. Yeah, Debby is still a tropical storm. It is still a tropical storm, and it will be making landfall here before too long here. This is something from Radar Omega they just posted there. As you can see, the flooding risk there in that purple zone moving northward. That's the big one there. And yep, I'm going to be making that trip to Raider Omega here pretty soon to see about seeing how we could partner up a little bit more and use their stuff there. So you can see that high risk there pulling right through there, and that'll be happening over the next 24 to 36 hours. That's where the highest rainfall threats are going to be falling here over the next few days. But this is going to be fun thing to look at. The only thing I really don't like is my satellite thing, which I guess I need to just keep that in refresh mode for it to update. And I probably need to go ahead and switch it over to the right address, because I'm using the Kona shot, and then I'm just switching over to the southeast shot, which doesn't take anything to do, but you want to try to stay up on the latest imagery there. So, but we've been very fortunate with this system that it didn't just become a re-intensification much. It typically does it once you get a tropical system to make a landfall. Once it does make a landfall, you don't usually get that core. And thank you for that new subscriber there. I do appreciate you coming on board here. Is when the system loses its central core, it's just really, really hard for it to kind of get back its act back together again. And that's what we're seeing here on the satellite imagery. Is you see the dry air that's in here. Most of the moisture, heavy moisture, you see with the brighter white clouds here across North Carolina, back towards South Carolina, and all. So you got the winds blowing offshore here. So not bad. The center's up to the right, and if you're on this side, the wind's blowing offshore. So surf's not too bad. But anywhere to the right of that center, heading up toward Myrtle Beach, that's where the activity is going to be the most. Now it's low tide right now. Tide should be coming in as we're heading toward landfall for tonight. So as this thing moves in, that's when the rough surf is going to be there. But it shouldn't be too big of a problem, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be too big of a headache here as this thing begins to move off toward the north there. So, yeah, I'm not sure why I got to double click on that thing, but there it goes. So again, that's what's going on with that track. Again, I'm just you're looking at 5 o'clock right now, right? So 2 o'clock tomorrow. So it's not going to move maybe 100 miles, so you think, roughly in there. But then once it gets into Thursday into Friday, or even Friday, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 p.m., then we start moving. Boom, 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 going on up. But really here for about 24 to 36 hours, man. I'm telling you, for next day and a half, go to 5 o'clock tomorrow. This area in North Carolina is just going to be really inundated real bad. Charlotte especially, I think, is going to see some pretty substantial rainfall totals in here as this thing moves on in for tonight. You guys got any questions? Please don't hesitate to put them there in the chat. I am streaming on Facebook as well. I'm testing my Facebook stream. I'm kind of doing both of them. And let's see here. I am seeing, yep, we're streaming on both. We're on both platforms right now. And that's good to see, although it's delayed over there. I'm not sure how big of a delay that's got, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's come back to me here. Go back to my feed here. As yeah, I really think that keeping an eye on the Twitter feed, on the X feed, or X. I don't know. I keep calling it Twitter because that's what I'm just kind of used to doing. I'm sure everybody else is as well. To kind of keep an eye on everything here as far as any updates. The big thing that's good about having the X feed in there is if you're getting in a major event and people start posting stuff, you can start looking at it, and we can start sharing that, sharing that data with everybody, and we can kind of see this. So I was looking and playing some videos on this earlier. Yeah, as you can see some of this flooding in here. Look, I mean, this is some of the flooding here across North Carolina and South Carolina. This dealing with some of the flooding and rain events, and you kind of get an idea what the different weather service offices are looking at as well. So it's a nice thing to have, that's for sure. And I'm not sure there. Oh, the camera came back. Hey, there you go. I like having that camera there. That's for sure. But right now you can clearly see on the camera the tide. It's low tide out here. It's definitely low tide. You can see this thing going on, and this camera changes different positions. I think it's multiple cameras there across Myrtle Beach. And this is I think this is Seaside, just south of there. So I'm kind of using this quartet of locations here. Looks like I still need to adjust this one a little bit more. This one looks like it's moved a little bit. So try to put these little cross sections in here. They're not exactly lined up. So little things like that I want to look at to try to make this better for you guys as we go through this upcoming hurricane season, as we're getting ready to go there. So my buddy who worked with us to help us out with these warning counts on here, which I'm going to leave on there as a standard thing, even though I know they're not warnings in our immediate area with this, I do want to leave that on there. And we do a couple things we want to automate is the crawl down below, which is currently like the tropical information. That kind of, I want to try to get that automated. That is up to date. I did put that in, but I'm having to manually do that. So I'm trying to see if we can get that thing to be automated a little bit. That would be a little more helpful there. And yeah, there's this thing updating here. So I put this news background in here, and then I put this monitor feature in there, kind of embed everything in the monitor. Does make it a little bit easier for me to kind of stand here and do anything where I'm not kind of squeezing in here a little bit. Finally got my lighting light and got that looking good. I think that looks pretty decent as well. So it's all about testing here. So, but these rainfall amounts, boy, I tell you, hopefully we don't run across any too much major problems with those folks going on there. You still a member of the Irish Twitter? I'll never be an Irish accent. Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, G Bro, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Good to see you, man. Yeah, good to see you guys here tonight. I tell you, it's fun. I'm really looking forward to the thing that's been really. The only thing I've been a little concerned about as I've been looking at some of the model data out there has been the fact that the let me go back here to studio mode here. The thing that's really been bothering me a little bit is the Saharan dust out there. And I put out a feature on this back in before the season. I called it the wild card. Okay, although we had all this stuff that looked like it was going to be conducive for a very busy season, the Saharan dust, I said, would be a wild card because I thought maybe we'd see a little more potentially there because of the upwelling in the eastern Atlantic, and you get more dust out there that could stall the season. In fact, the Colorado State just backed off their forecast of 25 named storms, brought it down to 23. They actually took 2 off because things have been so quiet. Now kind of getting into the first week in August, it still has not overall taken off. And I do want to show you guys something. I want to go ahead and pull this up. I got to get over to the right map here real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the European model here. And I just got to get into the oceanic view so you guys can see it properly. Go to the basin here. All right, there we go. And let's talk about the basin here. I want to talk about this. This is the last, the midday run here. I want to make sure I got the 12Z run. So let me show you this midday run here. I want to show you this real quick. And the one thing I'm noticing is we've got activity in the intertropical convergence zone. We have that down between the coast of Africa and South America. But we've had dust out there that's been kind of inhibiting this stuff. Now, the models are hinting at something coming up coming up through the Lesser Antilles and coming up through Puerto Rico as we go into this upcoming about a week or so from now. So we'll see if that actually holds true or not. But for right now, I mean, it's not looking too great out there for that. But watch what happens here as I bring this all the way through here. And then we finally get something to spin, and then looks like it gets caught. But here, my point is if I take this all the way out to the 10-day, we'll bring it right to the 17th. Let me put this back in studio mode here so I can go to the wall and see this. So we're talking. This is 10 days out. We should be getting activity out here, and thank you for that new subscriber. I appreciate that. We should be getting more activity starting to fire out here. And it's not. We've got the Saharan dust that keeps blowing off here just to the north of the intertropical convergence zone, and that's its kryptonite. It's literally like a kryptonite. So, but this thing's not getting developed until it's getting closer to the continent of the United States, and that's kind of more conducive, say, toward June, July type thing. This thing doesn't develop until it gets almost to Haiti and then starts to turn north because we have a trough in here. Here's that high. It's going right around that high and moving up to the north. But this thing doesn't even get fired up until it gets almost all the way across. Traditionally, when we're going to like the end of August and we're going into September, you get the storms that start to form in here. They start going into the Caribbean, and they either do 2 things. Either they come on up and make a turn this way, or they come up underneath and they come into the Gulf of Mexico, depending on the strength of that high pressure system. But we're just not seeing this out here, at least for the next 10 days, all the indications there from the Climate Prediction Center folks looking at it, I said, as we head toward about the 20th, things out here should start to get active. But again, I'll say it again, if that Saharan dust continues to be a problem out here, that's going to be a problem and inhibit that development, and it won't happen until it gets closer to the United States. And why is that important? It's important for two reasons. One, when you get something to form and gets its act together this far out, it can hold its strength, and it's got more water and time to go over to become a big boy. Just like, look what happened with Debby. Formed out here in the Gulf of Mexico, started to move, but it didn't really get its act together until it got really close to the coast. If it's doing it way out into the open ocean, then it can get a good central dense overcast, it can get a good organization going there, and then it can really become a big problem. Gulf Coast states, obviously East Coast. So this one here, if it does fire up, looks like it's might get picked up and go out to the right, but this is still 10 days out. So we got a little while to watch to see if that becomes our E-name storm, which I forget off the top of my head. I'm going to look that one up. I totally forgot the E-name storm. But that's what we're going to have to deal with here. Oops, let me get back over on me here. As we go for the next 10 days, that's going to be the big key on that system. So anyway, if you guys got any questions, anything you'd like to know about, you want to talk about, if there's anything here in this presentation that we've added a couple of new subscribers to the channel. So thank you for coming on board here. The only thing I'm looking at, I might change. One thing I might still change with this is this graphic down below. I might try to make that a little bit smaller. Maybe not take it as much of the bottom, maybe just make it a little bit smaller. That's probably the only thing I see that I might want to change. But overall, it's going pretty good. And I've got to remember here when I'm doing these feeds and I'm using my YouTube profile and stuff like that, that I keep my embed in here. It's so important. It's so critical for me to be able to see my count. It is so critical because if I don't do that, and if I can't see it, I can't do my normal stuff as far as the turnover and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to really worry about that too much now, but let me see if I pop this out, if this will make a difference. Let's do this. It might be because I didn't pop this out. I see the chat there. There we go. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's try this again, see if it shows up. There it goes. All right, I got that popped out. Hopefully that'll help. The chat ninja was down there for a second. So, hey, Rita, if you can go ahead and say hello. I see Rita on Facebook. How you doing, Rita? Good to see you there. I appreciate you checking us out there as we're kind of watching our tropical system here getting closer and closer to landfall. Hey, let's take a look at some of these winds out here real quick because we're kind of, while we're chatting here tonight and seeing how things are looking out here. It doesn't look all that bad with the wind profile. That's definitely not looking too bad there. Boy, it's like, oh, wow, it's sitting right on top of that. I just noticed it was actually sitting right on top of that buoy out there. When it's dead calm, it's like 8, 9, look, it's got sunshine out there. You got 10 mile per hour winds. The pressure's at 29.38, so it's come down. Air temperature 82, water temperature 83. So you can see the where the supposed center is. It's sitting right over that buoy right there. But again, nowhere near the expansive rain field. Now, I think what's going to happen tomorrow, is as this thing gets going, we're going to get, I think this rain field will start to fill in a little bit better. I think as we go through time, this rain field will fill in a little bit more, and we'll see as it moves northward into South Carolina and North Carolina. That's when that flooding potential will continue to be a bit of a problem as this moves north. But that's sitting right on top of that buoy. I didn't realize that until just now. It's like, hey, that's sitting right on top of that buoy right there. So we're expecting it to move generally in almost a due north direction. I would almost have to come back north. I still think this track may shift a little bit further to the right. I think it's going to be a little bit further up the beach here. Myrtle Beach obviously is the ground central of this thing here for right now. That's why I got those cameras up. That's why I got the cameras that I'm looking at for that area, looking up in here, because the tides are starting to come up. When I was looking at this earlier, and thank you for that new subscriber. I do appreciate you joining the channel here. As I was looking at this earlier, it was back here, but the tide's starting to come up. So you start to see the surf kicking on there. And I think the landfall is going to be a little bit further up the coast. So it's always the right side of the system where you're going to see higher surf, higher storm surge, but I don't think it'll be much storm surge. It's more beach erosion is going to be a big problem. I actually saw some stuff on the Twitter feed earlier showing some of the beach erosion further down the beach earlier. So this will be coming up as the tides are coming up now. The high tide's starting to come on in, and the surf will probably be batting up in here a little bit later tonight as we go through the next several hours here. So still looking at this. I still want to adjust that. That's still bothering me a little bit. I think this camera here is a little bit off. I know this is straight beam. Hey, thank you. Who's that? LB Floyd. Hey, LB Floyd, thank you for joining the Weather Nerds channel. I appreciate you checking us out here for tonight. I do appreciate that. That's 4 new people on here for tonight, or three new people for this afternoon. I appreciate that. So again, updating this radar, it's just that dry air. I tell you, if that wasn't looking like that, but it is starting to fill in. I'm starting to see that fill in a little bit, but pretty good expansive on the moisture feed there across North Carolina, South Carolina, and heading on around there. So yeah, if it had a little more time out of water, I'd probably get a little more concerned about this thing. 60-mile-per-hour winds is nothing to sneeze at, mind you. But this is not nearly as obviously as potent as it was when it was making landfall at 5 o'clock in the morning there down in toward Florida. And it'll be interesting to see what the final rainfall total maps were. There was a graphic I meant to make today. And in fact, I can look this up because I did take a snapshot of it. Let me take a look here. There was something I saw. I wanted to mention this. Let me see here. Where is that? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So to give you an idea here, Georgia, right here, Georgia, all-time rainfall record was 27.85 inches. I remember that one. That was Tropical Storm Alberto back in 1994. It basically parked itself over South Georgia and dumped that amount. Almost all that fell in like 24 hours. That was amazing. South Carolina, okay, South Carolina's record is 23.63. That was Hurricane Florence in 2018. So I think there's maybe some spots that may get challenged for that. North Carolina was also Florence. That was 35.93. I don't think we're going to challenge that one. I think that one's going to be okay. Virginia's all-time record going up to the north. Virginia is 27 inches. That was Hurricane Camille back in 1969. West Virginia was 7.94. That was Agnes in 1972. And Maryland was Eloise. That was back in 1975. That was 14.23. But Florence and Alberta were two of the big ones here. I think South Carolina's record might get challenged. That one's going to be close. But North Carolina, I don't think we'll get 35 inches there. I think it'll be okay there. But South Carolina's had a lot, and they may challenge that record. So just wanted to share that with you guys here for tonight. LB, hey, welcome. Watching from Lake City, South Carolina. Hey, welcome aboard there, LB. Appreciate you checking out the channel. I do appreciate that. Let's go over here and check the Twitter feed real quick. We're going to update this real quick and see what's going on over here on the Twitter feed here real quick. I think my wife's home. I told her I'll be doing some broadcasts tonight. Let me check out my Debby feed here. Just double checking the feed here. And I like to check. It's good. Like I said, it's a good thing to get in a good habit of checking the Twitter feed and seeing what's going on out there. Obviously, you got a lot of things going on out there. Hold on one second. I was just telling my wife her dinner was ready. Happy wife, happy life, right? It's like, don't go playing if you ain't gonna have my wife's dinner ready. But oh wow, look at that one right there. That one is I'm not sure where that exactly at. Secondary landfall. Yeah, you see some of these low-lying areas. They're going to be the big thing here. 10 inches of rain in the Georgia suburb of Pooler. That was 2 minutes ago there. Look at the rainfall there. So flooding pictures like these are what I'm expecting we're going to be seeing here to continue for the next day and a half until we get this thing to kind of clear on out. So that's definitely a big thing. Now the big thing is, folks, if you're in a flood-prone area, just make sure that you're not crossing moving waters and things like that. You definitely don't want to be doing that. So. I want to show you the other thing I was talking. I'm going to see if I've got it up down here. I'm not sure if I've got it. Let me put this back in my studio mode here. I think I've got it down here. Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, I want to show back. I want to go back and show again. We were talking about the Saharan dust being an issue here. So here's one of the images here that tracks the Saharan dust here. As you can see that kind of that reddish hue kind of coming off. It's starting to subside a little, but it's been a headache out there. These tropical waves have been kind of bouncing into it, and it's been a problematic with it for a while. So what the thinking is here as we go later into the month, I think what we're going to see is we're going to see this become less of an issue. So these tropical waves are sitting right through here. They're coming across, right, as they're coming across the Atlantic, and it's becoming more and more of a problem. But the Saharan dust in here should start to let up. And I apologize for my little, I don't know why OBS does that. It drives me crazy. I bought a new mouse, and real nice one, but it constantly does that little whoop like that. I have no idea why. But I think as this lessens up, I think we'll see things begin to get more active out there as we watch. I'm going to watch very closely tonight and see how the overnight models behave with that next disturbance, to see if we're going to get that next named storm to kind of come into the area. Hey, if you're new to the channel and if you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor. Do me the honor, do me the pleasure. Please come on board and subscribe to the channel. We're kind of watching here as we're getting close to a secondary landfall here of Tropical Storm Debby, which I need to fix the name on, by the way, because I'm an idiot. So let me fix that real quick. I just noticed I didn't. I spelled it wrong again. Hold on one second. I just noticed I did that. My bad. Let me fix it because I'm dummy. Okay. I'm so used to spelling Debbie the other way. There you go. Debbie. Again, we're going to see this thing making that landfall here probably in about 6 hours or so. So we're going to see things begin to improve slowly. But boy, is it going to be a slow, steady thing because of the speed. This thing's not moving very fast. Sitting right there as of the 5 o'clock location here. So we still got about another 60 miles. So it definitely needs to start picking up speed here soon, because I don't know if it's going to make that. What was the time on that next one here? Let me look at that next plot. I was just it's showing landfall about 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's got to get moving here pretty soon if it's going to make that 2 o'clock in the morning landfall. That is for sure for that system. But you notice we don't have a lot of precipitation. Everything's up to the north and inland. That's because we had dry air get circulated into the middle of that circulation center. Still getting rain bands here across Georgia, man, where they darn sure don't need it. It's been just amazing, the rainfall totals, especially between Savannah and Charleston. They were upwards of over 15, inching in on 20 inches plus with some of the rainfall. And again, tropical rains, they got abundant moisture as this comes on, regardless of the fact that we've had a little dry air get wrapped into this thing. So the rough surf, you see people here on the beaches, definitely don't want to be getting there. Rip currents, you can see there's a rip current right there. Look at that. There's one right there. Yeah, you don't want to get out into the surf. You see that backwash kind of lash in there in the middle. You can see those rip currents pretty easily on cameras like this. But darn sure not a good day to be at the beach. Maybe just to kind of kick your feet in the waves a little bit. But I darn sure wouldn't be out there on the beach. Maybe go out on the pier, do a little fishing. I don't know, but generally rough surfs. All these cameras are in the Bernal Beach area down south. I definitely will add a location to these. Somebody mentioned it earlier. I will put the location on these cameras. I think that's something new, but I do like the fact I got all 4 of them here, and we can look at that. So that's not bad there. So I also like my background. My wife's getting nice. My apologies on that. Sorry, that's okay. So anyway, yeah, but I mean, if this thing was a little bit further south, I mean, I'm looking at the satellite representation. It's got a very good circulation center here, pretty symmetrical. So we don't have a wind shear blowing over the top. It's just that the core, it gets disrupted so badly when it's over land. So when it was over land and it was over Savannah yesterday, and it kind of putted out, kind of went this way, and now it's kind of doing this little thing. It's just not enough real estate out here for it to get its act together. The winds did come up because the pressure did drop a little bit because it was back over relatively warm waters. The buoy out there was 83 degrees. So not bad as that's moving off toward the north, but some pretty good thunderstorms. You get the daytime heating with this moisture. The air, tropical moisture, it's very buoyant. It's very, very buoyant. So you get a little uplift in there, and you get some of these storms to flare up in there. So that's what we're seeing for this afternoon. So it's like you get the daytime heating. It's like lighting a match, and it just lights it up, and we get those thunderstorms to kind of flare up in there. So Been interested to see what the 8 o'clock advisory comes out. They typically put that at about 7:45-ish, so we still got about an hour and a half, roughly, before next advisory comes out to see if this thing's starting to move faster than northeast at 3. I mean, it's been putting along out here all day long. It hasn't really been doing a whole heck of a lot, that's for sure. But really until about Friday morning, because of the speed of this thing, because of all the moisture associated with it, it's the flooding threat's going to continue to be a problem right through there until this thing gets and kicks on out of here. That's for sure. Nobody looking for the next one. Rainfall amounts, again, you see the higher rainfall amounts down here as it makes landfall to the right of the system. That's where some of those bands are set up right now. 6 to 8 inches, maybe 8 to 12 little bullets in there. And then you get up into the mountains again. I was talking about orographic lift. You bring in the moisture, you throw it over those mountains, you get a little additional lift there. Kind of acts like a sponge, squeezes a little extra moisture out. So you're going to get isolated heavy amounts up in the Appalachians here. Needless to say, there'll be a lot of runoff, and a lot of streams not going to be open for business for any tubing, that's for sure, anywhere in Virginia and West Virginia as this rain comes on in here over the next day or so. Again, we're going back over here to this computer model again, and I'll put this in motion. We'll do this once again if you're just now checking this out. Let me back this up again for us here real quick. Again, this is the 12Z European run, so you can kind of see what's going on with the system going through the Carolinas as we go up through Friday. It goes into Pennsylvania, so we're looking at Pennsylvania by 8 o'clock on Friday, and then kind of goes up into New England and into Maine. So that's where all the heavy rains will go into Friday. That's where the severe weather risk will be as well as this moves on through. There's a pretty good dump of some cooler air that's going to come out of the Great Lakes and into the Northeast as we go into this upcoming weekend. We thought we were going to get a little bit of a tease down in the deep South, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to stay predominantly into the New England states, unfortunately, as that goes on by. But still looking at a fairly active as far as the intertropical convergence zone. It's still looking pretty active out there, to say the least. So we'll be watching these waves very closely to see if we're going to, in fact, get any additional waves in there. I'm going to take that bulb out. Got too many of them in there. Going to take that out. So that's how it's looking right now. I appreciate it. Well, I want to go back over to my Twitter feed here and check things out. Let's see. I want to go back here to Radar Mega here. I want to back out. I want to switch radars here. Let's go up to North Carolina. See, I've got some pretty good rains up here as well. I see some of the chasers out here. Let me switch over to the, let me go back to my other one here. Go to this one. There we go. So we got a couple of chasers out here. Got Vince out here. Let's see what he's out there in the heavy rain. And checking him out. And is this Corey? Yeah, Corey's out there too. So we got a couple of these chasers that are further up the coast where some of the heavier bands are. Probably waiting to see if we get any water spouts in this area. As you can see, a pretty good heavy rain band here kind of coming in here right now. So you got that rotating around that area of low pressure there down to the south. So with the center of tropical storm Debby. That's some pretty good heavy rains, that's for sure, coming in through Oak Island, Southport, Cure Beach, Sunset Beach, in North Myrtle Beach. Most of my cameras that I've been using, they're not showing how much. They're generally down in this area. So that's why they're not showing any rain in that area, because everything's up to the north right now. So kind of get you the broader perspective here. So everything's on the north side. Everything is generally here pretty good rain shield there on the north side of the system, but the center circulation obviously doesn't have anything around it because we got that dry air embedded in there for the moment. That is how we're looking for tonight. So, what do you guys think? I got 4 y'all out there. So, give me some comments. Give me some feedbacks. What y'all think? What y'all like the new? Y'all like the new look? What do y'all think of the new display with the wall and everything else like that? I think it looks nice. I like I said. The only thing I might change is that lower part of the bottom third. I think that might be just a touch, and I mean just a little bit too big. Maybe make that a little bit smaller, and I'll have to see if I can find me a different banner. I created that banner in the first place, so I'll have to see if I can maybe make that a touch smaller, just a little bit. But I think the screen of the monitor is pretty good, and I'm using a generic news blue background for the other one, so it's not looking not too bad there. Not too bad at all. Let me go back here to my double check my feed here. Keep going back to this. Just want to see if they anything news coming down. Oh, who drew that? Okay, that's kind of funny, but okay, that's things you get on social media. I tell you, that's crazy. Catholic Charities, Wilmington. This is the Wilmington area, showing some of the flooding there. You see some of the stuff going on with that. There is the high water risk. I do got to get me a better telestrator, and I'll have to get it maybe from a screen grab. I mean, I can do using the mouse here. You can see the dynamic grab from there. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of funny. Let me see if I can hide that. No, I don't want to block it. I just don't want you to see it. Let's see here. Golden Gate Estates flooded with 2 feet of water. A tropical storm. This is Golden Gate Estates flooded. I'm not sure where that's at. Just kind of check and see here. It could bring hottest day of the year to the UK. Wow. There you go. We're talking about tropical storm in the United States, and they're talking about the hottest day in the UK. Hey, there you go, Ireland. Watch out. I'm not sure what that means. Let me see if I can see the story on that. I'd have to check and see what that says. Let me pull that story up. I'll pull it up on another tab so I don't mess that up. But I'll read that. Let's check that out, guys. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. I'll read that. We're talking about tropical storm, and they're talking about. So, let's see. Storm itself will not reach Great Britain shores, but forecasters say it may result in hotter conditions because of the impact on the jet stream. All right. So, shows you what happens when you're talking about a tropical system. Whenever you get a tropical system that makes landfall buckles, it can cause the jet stream to get buckle. Remember, the whole purpose of tropical systems is to transport latent heat buildup in the tropics and takes it to the poles. It's to make a little more of a balance going in there. So what this story here is showing here, it's going to tell me to create an account. Well, doggone it, I don't want to create an account with you guys. Who's this? This is with the Telegraph in UK. So, but it makes sense. Okay, so basically what it's telling me is what happens is you get a displacement of the jet stream. Like when this thing moves out, we're going to get cooler temperatures to come into New England and stuff. And as you get a trough here, you get a ridge to build out over, say, Ireland. Guys, Ireland, Rasheen, yeah, watch out for that out there, and you might get some heat to build out over the British Isles as well. So that's an interesting story. Interesting here. Let's go back through here again. Oh, I hate seeing that. Yeah, you know you're going to see more of that stuff. A little road erosions. That's going to continue to be a problem. Absolutely, that's going to continue to be a problem. And you got schools that are closed. And some of the wind gusts. Winds aren't going to be a problem. I don't think it'll be, as far as power outages, I don't see that being a problem. More flooding more than anything else. There's some Savannah's reached 10 inches of rain from tropical storm Debby. This is the Bingville neighborhood today. You see all the water. They're kind of spread on out there. They're going to need a couple days to dry off. That's for sure. Anyway, that's flood prone though. That's going to continue to be a problem to say the least. So, anyway, all righty. Yeah, I think we're going to be pretty good. I'm probably going to try to stay on here until the 8 o'clock advisory. I think I want to stay on here till about 8 o'clock, and then we'll call it an evening. And I'll have to continue to watch the doggone feed, which is still not embedded. I have to figure out why it doesn't do that. I have no idea why on earth it does that, but. That is something I will have to keep an eye on here. Let me go back to Radar Omega here. There we go. So I'll keep going to the wall. I'll go back and forth, and continue to do my updates and things like that as people kind of come in and come out. We've had 83 views tonight. That's not too bad. Folks just kind of checking in, checking out. But I do like the fact that we added 3 new people to the channel. That's always a good thing. I don't know when we'll get the opportunity to really get a good growth. I mean, we got to get 895 to give those weather radios away that I want to give away. But we're going to need a more substantial system to kind of come in and help out. I think the new wall look and my cameras, I still got to do some tweaking with those cameras and stuff. But I think in time I will get. Oh, also, hey, you guys were mentioning about the mic problem I was having before. I figured out why. I had that thing plugged into the back of the computer, and because of line of sight or everything else, it was enough of disruption it was a cause a problem. And I didn't realize I had a similar type plug on the front of my computer. So I plugged it in up here, and I haven't had a lick of problem with it ever since. So problem solved. And I got 2 of these things, so if one goes out, I can switch over to the other one. Works out very good. So I'm very glad about that. So anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get ready to do another wall edition here. And I got to do these every few often. We got to keep it, folks, as new folks come in and come out as we're watching our tropical storm here getting closer to landfall, which it should happen a little after midnight or so. That's what we're thinking here for the landfall there. Let me go ahead and switch over to the wall right now. And of course, somebody says, I don't need to watch your butt. That's fine by me. So let's go over here and talk about the wall again. All right, so again, we're watching the center of circulation here, which is sitting right out here. You can see these bands in here. The heaviest stuff's on the north side of the system coming through Wilmington, coming back toward Florence and wrapping around. So this is where the heaviest rain shield is going to be. And this is not going to push northward very fast because this center of circulation is only moving north at about 3 miles per hour. So it's not moving very quickly. Now, as it gets to this position, I mean, really, this is at 2 o'clock, and that's going to 11 tomorrow. So it's going to take a little bit to go, maybe 100 miles. It's still moving very, very slowly. So as this moves northward here, the rain shield will be expanding into Charlotte, going into areas into the interior of North Carolina throughout the day for tomorrow. So obviously, I keep coming back to these cameras because what I'm noticing is that the beach is, as the tide's coming in, it's every time I check it, it's getting a little bit further inland as that thing's getting closer. I'm not sure which pier that is there at Myrtle Beach. I'm not too familiar with that area, but they're definitely seeing the tide coming in and the waves actually getting closer. I think probably in a couple more hours we're going to be sitting up here toward the northern part of the beach here before too long. That's for sure. And then you can kind of see the different. I think that's the same. I think it's a different pier. That's a different looking pier, I think. But you get people down on the beach. At least nobody's smart enough not to get in the water. That's for sure, because they're already seeing the rip currents pretty easily. I've been seeing a couple of these rip currents in here. Not a good day for a beach, that's for sure. That is for sure. So here's our updated satellite imagery here. Checking the latest on this thing. Just kind of watching the back part of this to see if we get any. There's a few new thunderstorms here on the back side of the storm. See the puffy whiteness, kind of the indicative of the thunderstorms, kind of lighting up a little more. Here's some pretty good thunderstorms blowing up here down toward Georgia as well. Still getting these bands in areas across Georgia where they got inundated with all that heavy rain. So this is continuing to move northward very slowly. But I tell you, if this thing was about 100 miles further south or so, or a couple hundred miles further south, I'd really be concerned about it perhaps redeveloping into back to a hurricane. But not going to happen. We got 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's what we got right now. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Maximum winds, and north-northeast at 3. So we'll check and see how much of a change we get with that as we go toward the 8 o'clock hour to see if, in fact, we're going to get any significant change. Maybe that goes north at 5. Maybe it changes. I still think the landfall is going to be a little bit to the right of what it's projected to be, just based off what we're seeing on the radar here for the moment. So that'll continue. But anywhere to the right of that center of circulation, wherever that's the center is, to the right of there, that's where the heaviest rainfall is going to be here across North Carolina into Virginia as this moves northward here for tonight and into tomorrow. So that's the big issue. Then of course the mountains with the lift, and that's going to continue to be a problem there. So anyway, let me go back over here again. I don't want to go back to that model again. But yeah, I think it's going to work pretty good. Let me go back over here to my feed. Go back over to my feed here. I still need to figure out. I'm not exactly sure. The docs. Let's see. Full height dock, custom browser docs. Is that? No, it's not the custom browser. I'm trying to figure out where my YouTube dock went, because my YouTube dock is what sits in my OBS and allows me to not have to look at I have to pull up the website. I don't like that. I like to be able to look at the graphics and be able to tell what's going on as far as viewership and things like that. So, I wasn't anticipating. All I was trying to do tonight was kind of test everything with the wall and stuff. I still need to fix a couple things here with I think it might be this. Let me see if I can fix this graphic here. I think it's this key. Let's see here. I need to shift this back this way a little bit, and I'm trying to fix this graphic here a little bit. See if that makes a difference here. Hold on, I'm looking at the quad chart. That's better. There we go. I'm not sure why it shifted on me. It shifted on me for a second, but I think it worked. I think I fixed that. That's pretty good. But I probably need, like I said, I do need to add the quad charts to that stuff. So let me go back. I tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me go back here to the live radar here. We'll go to this, and we'll keep watching what's going on with that. And then what I'll try to do is I probably need to. I need to lock these down for sure, because if you don't lock them, one thing when you're messing with it, if you ever do anything with OBS, if you got different layers and stuff, make sure once you got it placed, make sure you lock it down, because if you don't lock it down and you fool with stuff, you'll accidentally move something, a real pain in the neck, and then you got to try to put it back. It's got a little lesson learned there while you're doing stuff. But I probably need to, like, I could go to the interactive on all these. This is crownreef.com. Myrtle Beach, Crown Reef Beach Resort. Crown Beach, AccuWeather. That's an AccuWeather station. That's interesting. So let's see. That is number 1. So that's this one here. That's that upper right one. So all right, let's let me see if I can figure this. Another thing I need to figure out when I'm doing this stuff is to make sure that everything is proper on here. So, hey, those who are checking out tonight, we're watching the landfall for Tropical Storm Debby. We're probably about 6-7 hours from landfall. The system is crawling. It is moving extremely slow right now. It's only moving at about 3 miles per hour. So it's been moving really slow here for the next day and a half. Flooding is still going to be a problem for the Carolinas. That's going to be a problem for South Carolina, North Carolina, going into Virginia here. If you like to stay on top of everything this hurricane season, if you're new to the channel, I see we've got a couple of folks here watching, it'd be an honor and pleasure to be part of your weather, one of your YouTube feeds. If you'd like to go ahead and please subscribe, I would appreciate your support. And that way I can help you plan accordingly, especially as we go deeper into the hurricane season. I'd like to zoom in here real quick. Let's go to Weather Omega here. I want to go on to up here toward Wilmington. This is where the heaviest of the rain has been up this way, up near Wilmington right now. So this is, I want to pull up let's pull up the storm totals real quick. Let me look at this real quick. See how bad these rainfall totals. Oh yeah, look at that. That is what you call some pretty heavy rains there north of Norfolk. Let's look at some of these totals here. We're talking upwards of 9. There's 9 inches there. And you can see how this has really been looping on as that rain is continuing to fall in that area. We got a couple of storm chasers out here in these rain bands. That doesn't look too bad where he's at. It looks like they're both kind of waiting to see what the next rain band's going to do. They got a little bit of a break right now, but you can kind of see everything that's going on out there with this pretty intense rain band. Now, what I'm going to watch closely here over the next few hours is this band is coming in here south of Wilmington. I think that's why the storm chasers are out here. It's on this part of a band that you typically can sometimes get water spouts to form up. So they're kind of checking out to see if we're going to get any kind of potential water spouts to come up. But we had a couple of warnings earlier this afternoon that was a little bit further off toward the west of that earlier. But I think these outer band, as it's making that turn, that's where you kind of look for the potential for possible water spouts or tornadoes. So very common with landfalling systems. If you remember what we had with Beryl earlier, my Lord, we almost challenged the number of tornado warnings that were issued with that storm that challenged Hurricane Ivan back in 2004. But this one obviously won't be nearly as bad. So we're kind of getting these rain bands in here. And this is where the heavy rain bands, around this radar site, we're seeing already 10 inches of rain. The areas down south were even higher than that. I don't know if they've reset those totals yet, but I can check. Let's go down here to the other radar site and see what the storm total is. My guess is they've not turned it off. But oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can see very clearly here. I mean, wow, look at these rainfall amounts here. Just upward 13, 13, 13, 14, 14 inches, 14 inches, 14 inches. I mean, we're talking this whole area in here was 13, 14, 18 inches of rain. Quite substantial to say the least. So it'll be interesting to see what the bottom line numbers are, because the rainfall that you estimate from the radar typically underestimates it a little bit. As you can see, this area down to the south is not quite getting the rainfall. They're still getting some of the outer bands. I mean, you're still getting some bands that are feeding down this way, but this is not overly bad. That's not overly bad right there, to say the least. But right now, the heaviest bands are up here on the north side of the system, with these bands near the Wilmington area. Definitely a nasty day to say the least up that way. Probably need to check out some of the. In fact, I can probably do that. Let's take a look real quick here. I believe there's a pretty good camera, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I used it. I want to take a look, see if they've got. Let's see. Well. Let's see. That's Myrtle Beach. Let's see, Wilmington. I'm just kind of checking a look to see what kind of other cameras we got out here. Wilmington, Holden Beach. That's not right. Let's see, Johnny's Mercer's Fishing Pier. I'm not sure where that's at. Let's see. I think that's in Myrtle Beach. That's a nice shot though. Let me share the shot with you guys. I think that's Myrtle Beach. Let me check that. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to studio mode here. Go back over to the studio mode, and I will pull up this other camera. I think this is Myrtle Beach, but that's a nice shot. I just want to share this. Nice camera shot here. Yeah, just I thought that was a pretty nice looking shot there on the end of the beach. I think I need to look and see where that's at. I think that's Myrtle Beach, I believe. Let's see. Let me look that up. Let me look that one up, because I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Johnny Mercer's Fishing Pier. Wrightsville Beach. All right, so that is a different place. Let's go ahead and I will change that. I will change that location, so I can do that real quick. I'll look here. So I will change that to just give me a different look, because I got all those other cameras up there. So that is right. Let's get this spelled right. All right, Wrightsville Beach, Carolina. There we go. Boom. There we go. So I got a little different camera look there, because all these ones here are. That was Wrightsville Beach. Oh, I thought that was Myrtle Beach. My bad. Well, it's good I checked on that. That's a different camera, different view. Okay, it's good to know. Like I said, that is interesting here. All right, go back here to the radar here. I want to see if there's anything in here that looks like it possibly could be turned. I'm looking at velocity mode here, just to kind of see if we got anything that might indicate any kind of potential this out here, maybe. This up here that went by looks like maybe you gotta look. You gotta look at it a little bit different than your typical tornado look. You gotta look for something that maybe looks got a swirl in it. It's a little bit different than when you're looking at a traditional severe weather mode there. It's so interesting. I got a darn thing out here in the center of circulation. It looks like, yeah, it looks like I would say we're probably sitting up in here now. Just because you got this kind of going that way now. So it's a broad circulation center to say the least. I mean, obviously you're going to see that. Ba 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 ba. I'm loving it. Hey, thanks for everybody for checking out the channel tonight. I do appreciate y'all's support. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button before you back on out of here. I do appreciate this. Kind of doing a lot of testing here on some of the new look here for my overall on-air product for future events, obviously. I've got a product for my wall, and I've also got product for when I'm sitting at the desk. So I got the two different looks here. And I do appreciate everybody coming on here. We had LB Floyd. LB Floyd here was watching from Lake City, South Carolina earlier. We said hello to him. So just want to say hello. And of course, we got our famous Ireland person here checking us out, who's probably looking forward to the hot weather this storm's going to bring her way. You know, when we were in Ireland, man, we were there back in July of 2 years ago in 2022. We caught the tail end of a heat wave that was into Dublin, and it was really hot. We had to crack the windows because the place we were at didn't have air conditioning, but it was better the rest of it. But after that first day, it was like, nah, we want to make sure any place we go, we got that they got to have air conditioning. That was just a lesson learned from our part there as we were going along. But the friend of mine who helped me with my severe weather crawl, I'm hoping to get him to help me with the tropical crawl, make that automated. I want to make this stuff up here where the coordinates and stuff, I want to make that all automated too. So I'm not having to manually put it in. I want to try to make that to be something that is going to be fully automated. So when it updates, boom, it's updated. You know, that's what I'm hoping for. Let's go back here to the Twitter feed here. I keep going back to the Twitter just to kind of see if things coming on in from the Wrights Beach area here. Da, 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 da. Ooh, boy, it's a lot of stuff's updated here. Let me go all the way back to the top. Oof. See some of these water slots and stuff. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of ways power outages. I really don't. I love seeing scenes like that. You see things like that with the boats and the getting into some of these areas that get flooded. Of course, you hate to see water in people's houses, man. That's the bad thing. But I know FEMA will be all over this, obviously. So just kind of checking some of these other. Don't you hate when you get your car caught in water? If the water's covering the road, don't drive through it, folks. Just don't do it. It's not worth getting your car stuck like this guy over here and not being able to do anything with it. That's just terrible. I hate seeing that. Oh Lord, that's a shirt. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, people, don't do that. No. They're I don't think that's a smart thing to do. You're surfing in the I don't think that's a smart thing. Yeah, those areas around Charlotte tomorrow especially going to need to be here's something that just reported. National Weather Service confirmed 2 tornadoes connected with Tropical Debby Tuesday evening and are looking at other areas of interest in the low country. This is from WMPF. And yeah, there were several tornado warnings yesterday with some of these. This looked like, those look like they're fairly weak construction, obviously. But yeah, like I said, you get the tornadoes, man. They can cause problems. Cold drinks inside. Just kind of checking some of the. But what's going to be really good with having this here. Hey, Charlotte, welcome there from Georgia. Charlotte there on Facebook's watching us there. How you doing there? Appreciate you checking us out there on the Facebook side. Appreciate you checking out the coverage here today. Yeah, we're trying to do stuff. I like the new look. I got to tell you, Charlotte, I want to tell you that over there on Facebook, the one thing I'm probably going to do, if you watch my forecast in the Columbus market, I'm probably going to make the adjustment to make the look like this from my regular forecast. So I'm probably going to adjust my regular forecast to be similar to this look with this right now. So I want to change the model data here. I want to go back to the high resolution model. So let me go back here. I'm going to do something here. Let's change this to the HRR. Let's go to the Southeast United States. Let's go to the reflectivity mode, popular, composite reflectivity. All right, so I do want to show this real quick. Here is the latest high resolution model. This kind of goes out for the next 18 hours here. So you can see how this thing's going to progress over the next few hours. So as this moves inland, I want to check the precipitation totals here. So over the next 18 hours, this is what we're looking at as far as your storm totals are concerned. So you clearly see the white around there. So not quite as high as before. We're still looking 3.5, 3 inches, 2 in here. This is only goes till 11 o'clock tomorrow. So some pretty heavy rains coming into the Charlotte metropolitan area, getting up toward Raleigh as well. And obviously, Riceville Beach is getting hit pretty good. Wilmington going to get hit with some of this. So this is just to get started. The center circulation is still showing down here in 18 hours. It's really not going to move all that much, maybe sitting right there. So this is just over an 18-hour period, getting 3 to 4 inches of rain. That's pretty good. And we're going to add more on top of that as well. So this is the high resolution model here coming over the next few hours with that. So the 18Z run, which goes out even further, I can go out even further in this, and we'll take this all the way out to the end of its run here. So this is taking us out till 2 o'clock on Friday. So now you can see the higher amounts. You got 5, 5. Here's one that's 6 right there. So, and I will tell you historically what I've always seen with these models, they tend to underestimate tropical rains. You can almost add 30-40% to the totals here. So even though this one says 5, it may be closer to 7 or 8. It's just one of the realities when you're dealing with a tropical system. They tend to underestimate the rain totals a little bit. That's why when I showed you the forecast map a little bit, you see the run there. I can show you the forecast run here again. It's a little bit different. Let me see your rain total. So yeah, so you saw that area there. So this is a little bit again 6 to 8. So you saw where we're showing like 5, and that it's a little bit higher than that, just a little bit. So we'll see some individual amounts in here that are pretty pushing 6. I think the mountains especially might get closer to 7, 8 inches. I know we saw a 6 that was up here. So just a little bit more. You can add like 30% or so, 30 or 40%, depending on the storm. Really, that we'll see those higher rainfall totals in there. So I thought that was interesting. Go back over to this. Let me go back to Radar Omega here. Looks like the storm chaser said they're done for the day. They have shut off. Do not see them. They probably said they've had enough. We got a tornado warning that's come out. Where's that out? I just saw. It must not be associated with this system here. Where's that tornado warning? Oh, way out in Denver. Holy crap. We got a tornado warning out here in Denver. That's a radar indicated 2-inch hail. That's a good hailer there. Let's see what it looks like on the. Yeah, I got something in there. Pretty close to the radar. Very broad though. That's just a very broad circulation there in Denver. I was seeing if there was a tornado warning in close to our landfalling system. I was just checking that out real quick. Go back over here to velocity reflectivity mode. I'll put you over here for 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. I got to go to the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. Had to get me a drink too while I was at it. when you get talking for a little while, you get talking, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oops, not that one. This one. Here you go. Woo woo. All righty. So we're gonna get going here. Let me see here. See, I do wear the glasses, but unfortunately they're nearsighted glasses. So when I'm at my computer, I gotta take them off. I know they're part of the Weather Nerds logo because I do wear them, but I can't wear them when I'm at the computer. Unfortunately, one of those things. It says audio curve rate is 0, a lower recommended bit rate that you use an audio stream bit rate of 128. I wonder why it's messing with my audio. I just noticed that. So anyway, here's where our current watches and warnings are. Let me make sure this is updated, by the way. Just want to see if they've not chipped away anything. Let me just double check this real quick. Da 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 da. Got that tornado watch box that's up there. I thought that, which is I think that one goes until. Let me make sure I got the right time on that before I open my mouth. Da da ba ba ba. I see the yellow there, but I don't see the time on that one. Huh, that's interesting. SBC. Oh, there it is. I was like, where'd it go? I know I saw it. Yeah, there it is. See, this one goes until 11 o'clock tonight. Yeah, I thought I wasn't sure. I wanted to say 10, but I wanted to make sure I said it right. So to 11 o'clock. It's basically right along the Carolina, South Carolina coast. All right, that's what we're looking at that right there. Well, that's what we're watching. Gonna watch that. That's where I'm watching that area right there. So that area from Wilmington down toward Myrtle Beach. That's kind of your prime zone there, up the coast. So anywhere, and I probably need to delete this out. Let's delete that out. And we'll add a new one in here real quick. No, I don't need to do that. What am I doing? Such a moron. I don't need to do that. So anywhere, let me get my drawer up here real quick. So basically from, see, right in here, this is going to be the prime zone for possible tornadoes for this thing as it's making landfall. That is the zone to look for because that's where the biggest turn is taking place. And that's where when it makes that turn, that's that's where the atmosphere's got the best spin. See what this wind here looking at. That's not too bad. 8 foot seas. Air temperature 78 degrees. Is that local? That is correct. That's the new one. And let's go down to this one here, see if this has changed much. Getting dark out there now. Winds non-existent because it's right in that center of circulation. Pressure still 29.38. That's what it was earlier. And sea surface temperature 83, almost 84 degrees. So still pretty warm waters out there. All righty. All righty then. Go back over here to the Twitter feed. Let's check the Twitter feed again. I'm just going to keep updating this thing as I go along. Let's see. Trump has been making its way up the coast, flooding parts of Florida, Georgia, and it's not done yet. What do you know about that? There's a heavy downpour there. You kind of see. Not sure where that's at. Didn't identify where. Not sure where that's at. There's that heavy rain threat. You see they're kind of coming in through North Carolina and into Virginia, and then it kind of goes up the coastline up there. And even, I mean, they got it in the red here, or moderate risk. By the time it gets up this way, it's going to really be moving pretty quickly. So I'm not anticipating, you notice the rainfall amounts here also drop off. So I'm not anticipating that to be too big of a problem. I'm more concerned about this area down here to the south. But there might be some isolated flooding, obviously, as it goes further north, especially in any interaction with the Appalachian Mountains. You're going to get a little bit of that. Charleston weather. They almost make it look like the old Weather Channel graphic. Actually, that is the old Weather Channel graphics. That's pretty cool. I don't know who did that, but that's pretty cool. I used to work at Weather Channel back in the day, so that's pretty cool to see that. Yeah, 1 to 3 storm surge, 1 to 3 foot. That's not bad. We saw that on some of that live stuff. I just can't believe all the schools that have closed for this thing. Charlotte's got a lot of schools closed. So we're dealing with a lot of that stuff tonight. Held up our silky eggs by a few days, but we're giving them a go just to go. Okay, whatever. Cumberland. Not sure where that's at. Some of these places I'm not sure where they're at, so I'm just kind of checking them out. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I really still don't think the power outages are going to be too big a deal here with this thing as it gets closer here to landfall. Let me go back to studio mode here real quick. I need to double check and make sure this wall graphic is ready to go properly. The one thing I don't like, I use my main product that I use for the weather maps. It's called Weather Bell. I love it because it's got the proper timestamp that they put into normal time, not Zulu time. I love it. But the problem I don't like with it, unlike like Tropical Tidbit, is that when I have it going through a loop, if I come off the graphic, it freezes. And then when I come back to it, I have to manually get it to start going again, which I think kind of stinks. But let's see, this has only got 7 hours. Let's go back to the 21Z here. 21Z, and let's go to composite. Go to composite here. And I'll have to come back to this when I finally get to it. So I'm just kind of going to start again back at the wall again. Trying to do this every 10 minutes or so as I'm trying to get used to using this program a little better. And I need to lock things down too as I'm going with this. So everything here is pretty much locked up. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going on each graphic. I'm going to start locking everything down in place. That kind of keeps things kind of clean for the moment. So let me go in a little bit closer here. Let's talk about some of these outer bands here a little bit. Make sure I am on the proper graphic. Yes, we are. Yeah, ready. All right, so Wilmington over to Whitesville, these darker oranges and reds, this is where your higher winds are going to be. You're probably getting winds probably to 30, 35 miles per hour, some higher gusts. Tropical storm force winds, you get over 39 miles per hour. There's going to be some individual gusts. What's interesting when you get a landfalling tropical system, as you'll hear these wind gusts kind of come off from a distance. It's not like a rolling train kind of coming on through. Oh, excuse me, this one's not overly big for obvious reasons, but these outer rain bands are where you're going to see obviously where the tornado risk is going to be between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach. In that area, as these little storms come off, you may get little water spouts that kind of fill out up here as this kind of moves on in. So not so worried about obviously this side. This is the downside. The heaviest rain side is going to be on the right side of that circulation. So here's that path coming in from the south. This landfall about 2 o'clock in the morning is what's projected right now. I still think it's going to be over this way, but we'll see how it works out. 8 o'clock advisory should be able to tell us for sure if that's going to be the case or not with it or not. So, look at some heavy rains there in Ricefield Beach now. Yeah, I just changed the camera over there. They're getting blasted really good with some of the heavy rains now coming into that area. That camera was clear a little while ago, but that's changed a little bit there. Cameras elsewhere. This is all Myrtle Beach stuff here. These 3 different locations. This is Wrightsville Beach there. So again, tide's been just coming in at this moment, but definitely lousy beach day. Lousy beach day up along those beaches right now. So did that not update? I think let me make sure that updated here. I want to make sure that's on the latest satellite. That should be the latest satellite. Let me see here. Yeah, that is updated. Just making sure. So pretty good cloud field. I know these folks in Savannah, they got to be tired of the clouds, the rain. Get this thing out of here, please, so we can dry out, give a chance to clean up a little bit. Over here now I live up here. I'm in Northeast Georgia here. We've been pretty good. We've had some clouds on the edge of this thing. Hasn't been too bad here. Over in Columbus, they got close to like almost a century mark. On the periphery of this thing, you get sinking air. So it's been mostly sunny kind of on this. This is stuff from another system back to the west, but you get sinking air in here. And when you get that sinking air, it compresses and it causes the temperature to go very, very hot. So it was almost near the century mark, and it was in the upper 90s here in Atlanta because of the proximity of this tropical storm just off the coast there. So a little weather 101 there for you right there as that comes through. But again, as this updates here close, I think this track's not going to change. I think the models are in very good agreement. It may scoot up a little further up the coast of like tens of miles, but really not that bad. Shouldn't be too big of a problem as this moves on in. But it's going to take, like I said, about 36 hours for this thing to move up to North Carolina. Then boom, get on out of here. Good riddance, and the heavy rains that are going to come with this thing as this moves inland as well. Got the new high resolution model that just came in. This is an 18-hour loop that just finished up here. I just want to go ahead and put this in motion again. You can see that as of the 5 o'clock time, it lags by about an hour or two. So because right now the 22Z is just coming in. So this is the 21Z. The 22Z is still coming in right now. So you can see the landfall, the system as it moves inland. Then the rain field kind of expands out here across the Carolinas. So we're talking Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, obviously getting in on this. Asheville, I think you're going to be okay. You're going to have rain chances there in Asheville, but it shouldn't be too bad there as this moves inland. Columbia, South Carolina, going up toward Florence, obviously. But this area across central North Carolina are going to get pounded pretty good here. Again, winds 30 mile per hour, winds 35. Shouldn't be too bad there, but it's going to be the isolated flooding location, those lowland areas that typically flood, that are going to be problematic with this thing as this moves forward. Again, this only goes till 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. So again, it's going to be raining starting here this evening, and it's going to go all night and go into tomorrow morning with those heavy rains, to say the least. So that's what we're looking at there. That is that. And let's see if they've changed. I don't think they've changed this. That still shouldn't have that slight risk for severe weather there with that system coming on. And then the watches and warnings going up into the Pennsylvania with the flood watches and the tropical storm force winds. Again, once this thing makes landfall, once it moves inland, I'm not expecting tropical storm force winds up here. By that time, it'll weaken back to a tropical depression by that time. But anywhere right in here, you're going to see the tropical storm force winds over 40 miles per hour. The tornado watch goes along the coast from here all the way down to about here. I know it's overlapping a little bit with the tropical storm warnings in here, but this is where these are the counties that are in that tornado watch that goes until 11 o'clock tonight. Probably get extended and move inland a little bit here as the system gets toward landfall, but that goes till 11. It'll probably get extended out a little bit going into later tonight and into the morning hours, just to be on the precautionary. They'll do that. Woo! Oh, well, the wrong graphic. I didn't mean to put on that one. Let's go with this one. Is that the right one? There it is. That's the right one. All righty. Yeah, I'm actually feeling very good about this, guys. I really am. I think when we get to a bigger event, we're going to be able to do some good stuff, some good coverage. We're going to be able to do some good interaction with you guys on a one-on-one basis. I'm kind of making notes as I go along here to try to make sure that I keep the product engaged as much as possible, and make sure that we the couple things that in my OBS software, I got to keep the counter, the YouTube Studio stuff on this side, because I got to see it. If I don't see it, I'm not going to be able to do the promotions on it. Now, I'm not doing my countdown stuff normally, because tonight we've been averaging 3.5 minutes per turnover. It's usually a little bit more than that, but this is not really a huge storm system for that. But my countdown clock, which is what this is for the guys who haven't seen this. I've got a digital clock up on my wall, and what that's for is that it'll count down to 0, and it reminds me to promote the channel, to do certain things when we're doing coverage. When we're doing coverage like this, it requires folks to do likes, subscribes, and leave comments, because we're a small channel. When you're a small channel, you've got to do those things to keep the product to get picked up by the YouTube algorithm. Now, we're not really been promoting that tonight because we've been testing tonight. We've been doing stuff with the weather wall and coming back to the regular coverage with my other stuff. So I've got 2 different ways to do the product and to be able to do the engagement stuff. Now, the one thing I can't do at the wall is pull up comments. I can do those from here, just like there from Charlotte when she was watching from Georgia. I can pull those comments up and pull those up individually, but we can't do it on the other one. So anyhow, I know I said I was going to go till 8, but I think I'm pretty much done testing. Anybody got any questions or anything that I can answer? I only got a few folks watching right now. Anybody got anything that they need as far as pertinent information? I think we're in pretty good shape. I want to thank everybody for for watching and kind of give me an opportunity to test the equipment tonight. And I do appreciate that. But I do got a couple things there's a couple things I got to fix, and I can't do it while I'm broadcasting. I'm realizing my YouTube issue that I'm having, and a couple other things I can't fix while I'm broadcasting. So I can't do it. So what I'm going to do, and I know I was going to try to go till 8, I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down now and see if I can fix this stuff up. And then look for the next big, the YouTube shorts. I'll keep doing those daily. That one disturbance that we were looking down the Caribbean, that's dead. I'm going to worry about that one. But I'll keep doing my YouTube shorts. And this thing's about ready to go. I think we're in pretty good shape. There might be some other small products I might still add from the Climate Prediction Centers, from some other stuff. But for the most part, I think we've got a pretty good solid product here for the on-air look for the channel. So, all right, so that's going to be it. I'm going to go shut this down. I got to figure out why my YouTube is not docking properly. I got to fix that because it's driving me crazy. It's just one of those things. I go like, I got to have my YouTube thing. And, because I can't do it when I'm trying to do my my stuff here to be able to look at the counter. There's that satellite picture finally updated there. I don't know what the deal is, but I do like the monitor display. I really think that came out looking so good, and I love the fact that we got we got that, and we got the quad cameras. Now I will add, like I said, I will add the location stuff to this. I've got to add that to this display. There's a couple of minor things I'm looking at real close that I need to watch out for with the green screen I'm using. for the top one, but for the most part, that looks pretty clean, not bad. Satellite, this is really good because it's got the lat lawn and stuff. And I might try to put some motion stuff in with this to where I can zoom with this particular. I might, like this graphic here, what I could do is I can do a movement motion where I can zoom in closer on stuff and have it like a hit key. It's a movement feature on OBS where I can zoom in a little bit closer. That's something effects wise where I can go zoom in, zoom out, that kind of thing, because the data on the right, it's a layer, so it won't change. So that's a good thing there. So that's something I might do with that. And then, of course, this comes from the National Hurricane Center's Forester updates. Those are real easy to put in. And then the model data, that's really good and set because I can change that to anywhere I want it to be. Same thing with the Storms Prediction Center. What I like about this, the only thing that's different that I don't like about this is, and I'll show you this real quick so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, is when I use this, I do grab the categories and stuff, but if I switch the categories, they change up a little bit. They're not changing up by that much. The tornado percentage there is 10%. You kind of see that, the green, but I've got the green kind of all about the wind damage. You see that nothing there, significant hail. That's back out. Of course, actually, that's not too far off. Not as bad as I thought it would be. But those different probabilities are off just a little bit than the categories for just this. So they're off just slightly. And that's something I'll look at. All right, well, that's going to be it for now. I'm going to go ahead and shut down. You guys take it easy. Appreciate y'all supporting tonight. I appreciate the feedback. It's been great. And look forward to y'all a little bit later this hurricane season, man. I'm telling you. We're gonna get that one bit. We're gonna get that one storm in here, and we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. And here at the Weather Nerds channel, and we're gonna be ready to cover it well. I'm really like where this thing's going. It's looking pretty good.